Hi, friends. I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to try to go live on two platforms. I'm going to go live on YouTube as well as on TikTok. Hey, Rumi. Hi, thank you so much for being here. Welcome. I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to try to go live on YouTube as well as on TikTok. So if you see me looking back and forth, it's so that I can monitor both screens. How am I doing today? I'm doing okay. How are you doing? I hope you're fine. It is 2:22 here in New York City. What time is it where you are? Eight 23 p.m. Okay. So you're 6 hours ahead of me. I got to remember that. I don't know why I thought it was 7. Yes, it is. Hello, my cozy little library. It is 1:23 in Texas. Texas is just an hour behind us now. Okay, because we're still on daylight saving time for another 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So when we go back on daylight, when we go off daylight saving time, no, I'm thinking. When we go to daylight saving time, we are going to be 2 hours. We're going to be 2 hours ahead of you, I think. Okay. Thank you so much for being here, both of you. So I was just saying, trying something a little different today because I want to start doing lives on TikTok as well. So I have TikTok open as well as YouTube. I'm going to try to go live on both platforms. So thank you so much. I think we'll still be just 1 hour behind Eastern Standard Time. Okay, you're in Central. Okay, that makes sense. Listen, the time change the time change is a little confusing to me. I barely sometimes remember what time it is here, which is why I have a watch now. For years I didn't wear a watch, and now I'm wearing a watch again. So thank you so much. I know I said that already, but just thank you so much for being here. I am going to stay on today for about 45 minutes to an hour. I don't know. I'd like to do a little reading sprint because I am reading something and I really want to get back to it, even though I want to spend time with you. So this is what I'm reading: Grace and Henry's Holiday Movie Marathon by Matthew Norman. So because I am streaming today on my computer, the computer has the book cover the right way. On TikTok, it's reversed. And that is because I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why it is that things are mirror image on the computer. No, mirror image on the phone, but regular, the right way on the computer. Yeah. In any case, we're just gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited that what I'm looking at right now, because the computer is right in front of me, looking at it, it is the way it's supposed to be. Grace and Henry's Holiday Movie Marathon by Matthew Norman. I read a little bit. I'm at about page 120, 116. I'm at 116, and the book is just about 316 pages. So I have 200 pages to go. It is it's a very engaging read. So we're reading about I told you we're reading about a man and a woman. Both of them lost their spouses sometime before, like within the last year. And they're entering the first holiday season without their partners. And everybody has been setting them up all year, trying to encourage them, gently prodding them towards starting new things, like not dwelling on the loss, but moving forward in life. And that's not easy to do because there is the pain of the loss, there is the grief, but then there's also imagining a life without your partner in it. Um, yeah, 916. Is that what I said? Oh, yeah, I'm at page 1161. 116. That's all I've read so far. But one of the things that I really admire about how the book is written is that the conversations are building around movies. Both of these characters were active movie watchers, especially holiday movie watchers, and they watch movies with their spouses. So even though the spouses have gone, there is that desire to continue connection through something that they really enjoyed and to share that with someone new. So we are discussing a lot of the movies that they're watching alongside the characters, and I find that to be fascinating because a lot of them are movies that you would probably like yourself. So in yesterday's live, I talked about how the first movie that was discussed was Die Hard, Bruce Willis Die Hard, because the book is written by a guy, and Die Hard just appears on guys' favorite movie lists. Whenever a guy makes a movie, I'm sorry, whenever a guy makes a list about movies, it seems like Die Hard is on there. And I like that um, the discussion is carried into the narrative. So comments and arguments that you've probably heard about why Die Hard is not a holiday movie is actually a line that's given to the character in here. And so I like that. Um, a lot of the movies that you would enjoy if you're, holiday movie watcher like myself, um, the characters discuss why the movie is controversial or why the movie is good. And so I like that. I'm waiting for more of my favorite movies to appear. But so far, they've talked about Die Hard. They've talked about, just it's not in terms of books being mentioned, but books, sorry, not books. I'm so used to talking about books. Not just that the movie has been mentioned, but that it's been discussed. Um, we talked about Charlie Brown Christmas and the Family Stone, um, and no, not the holiday, Notting Hill. And I think they're about to watch the holiday. But yeah, interesting, just really interesting. And while I think this will get to be a romance novel, it's not there. It is a very slow dealing with grief and then becoming friends. So I'm liking that. Like, as a matter of fact, I don't need it to be a romance novel. I don't need the romance to happen within these 316 pages. I would just like to see these characters embrace life, embrace new relationships, new new friends. It doesn't have to be romantic. Like, it doesn't have to be romantic. So nobody said that this was a romance. I assumed it was a romance because of the cover. A lot of these books with these cartoon caricatured um, computer generated covers, a lot of them are romance, and so I maybe just assumed that it was romance. But on the barcode here, it just says fiction. It says fiction. And I'm fine with it not being a romance because I don't know if there is enough time for it to be a romance. Yeah, but yeah, my cozy little library says it will be interesting to see how they reshape their lives. It will be interesting. One of the characters, one of the characters has children, so there's family, and there are siblings. The adult characters have siblings, and their coworkers are mentioned. So it's not just them; it's an actual community around them, and you see how that community has shaped their life or lives separately. So I'm really, really enjoying it. I have no hesitation recommending this thus far. So I actually posted on Instagram last night. I had a picture that I taken, and I wanted to post something because I haven't posted anything on Instagram lately that was about new things, moving forward things. And so, because this book is also about moving forward after grief, I felt like this could be that book that I post about. So I did. So if you go to my Instagram, which is just Karen_Runwright reads, the same as my TikTok, same as my YouTube, except YouTube is just Runwright reads. Instagram and TikTok have the Karen underscore before it. If you go there, you'll see this book being featured on my Instagram because, yeah, I like it. I like it so far. So we're going to have a sprint. We're going to do a little bit of a reading sprint where I continue to read this. Would love to get to, a few more pages before I have to move into my afternoon activities. But thank you so much for being here. We got some friends on TikTok. Hi. So we are talking about, and I know it's reversed for you, we're talking about Grace and Henry's Holiday Movie Marathon by Matthew Norman. Brand new release came out on this past Tuesday, October 14th. And I am at page 116 and really enjoying it. So I talked about it on Instagram. And if you like books that may become a romance but are about building relationship, like getting to know someone new, even when you're not sure that you want to get to know someone new, because sometimes that's how life is. I think this is a good read thus far. I like that the characters are real people, that they make statements that reflect where they are in their lives. And it may not be a completely nice place. It may not be a good place because both of these characters are grieving recent losses, but it's also about them making space in their lives for someone, like being there for someone, even though they don't necessarily think of it as helping themselves. They're probably trying to help the other person, but in reality, they are also doing something positive for themselves. So we're going to continue reading this. I think 5 minutes, 5 more minutes of chit chatting, and then we do a little bit of a reading sprint. So in our 5 minutes of chit chatting, how about we unbox? Because there is a brand new package to unbox. How about we find out what the publisher sent us today? Oh man, I am so excited. I think, and I could be wrong about this because I haven't been tracking it, but since I started sharing the unboxings with you live, like since I started coming on to do daily lives where I share book packages, I think I've been getting more packages. I think I've been getting more books because I didn't used to get a book. I'm not used to getting a new book almost every day. Like this, I think, is my third package, fourth package this week. Today's Thursday. Fourth book, third package. I think one package had two books. Am I right? No. There were four separate packages because this came by itself and the book by David Brooks came by itself. Yeah, it's unboxing time again. On Monday, I think it was, I opened these packages. And to be fair, these packages had come over the weekend, but I didn't have time to open them over the weekend, so I shared them with you. So on Monday, I opened two bookish packages and I got David Brooks' How to Know a Person, The Art of Seeing Others Deeply and Being Deeply Seen, nonfiction by popular journalist, op-ed columnist, presenter, or guest contributor on PBS NewsHour, David Brooks, that David Brooks. So I got this one over the weekend. This also came the same day, but it was a separate package. And I remember now because when I was telling you, this had a release date of October 14th and this had a release date of October 21st. So I'm so psyched that I got a book over a week before a publication date. So these packages came earlier this week. And then I got the package with the Red Rising Deluxe edition from also from the publishers, Pierce Brown's Red Rising, which I showed you in a live. And it's over there. I could get up and go get it, but I want to show you the new book. So this is package number 4, book number 4 for this week. I'm so excited. So let's see what's inside. And because you guys have been here before, you know I'm going to close my eyes when I open the package because I want you to see it first. Because the publishers sent the books to me physically, but they sent them to me to share with you. So I want you to see it first. So here's the book. Here's the book. Here is the book. Is it this one? Is this the cover or is this the cover? And there is something inside. Oh, oh, it is Alice Rue Evades the Truth. Alice Rue Evades the Truth. One little white lie equal one big hot mess. This is a novel by Emily Zips. Now, I think we can all agree that this is stunning. It's stunning. Oh, some stickers just fell out. Oh, this one says powered by chaotic bisexual energy. Okay. So I guess we know that there are some LGBTQ characters in this book. Portland is extremely gay. And I guess this way. Those are cute. Those are cute. Oh, there are more stickers. There are more stickers. Citizen Ruth. And we are all worthy of taking up space. Those are so pretty. All right, so here is the synopsis of Alice Rue Evades the Truth. One little white lie equal one big hot mess by Emily Zips. In this homage to While You Were Sleeping. While You Were Sleeping is another movie that I have enjoyed. Sandra Bullock sees this man, and she sees him get hurt, and she goes to the hospital to visit him. His family, thinks that they are involved while he is sleeping, while he's in a coma. In this homage to While You Were Sleeping, a down on her luck receptionist is mistaken as the girlfriend of a comatose man and doesn't have the heart to come clean to his devastated family. So exactly the same synopsis. She is mistaken as his girlfriend, and while he cannot object to that mistaken identity, she just falls into that role. So Alice Rue has never spoken to her longtime crush, Nolan Altman, but after she saves his life, the EMTs tell his family that Alice is Nolan's girlfriend. She wants to set the record straight, but Nolan's in a coma. And if the family feels comforted by the idea of Nolan having his girlfriend by his side for what might be his last moments, isn't it kinder to go along with it, at least for now? So yeah, I could see how, you know, you don't want to have the confrontation, or you want to avoid any kind of conflict while people are engaged in a challenging situation. So the publishers Penguin Random House just gifted me this book, and I am so excited to get it because this cover is so beautiful, and the stickers, I already have plans for where I'm going to put them in my reading journal. And speaking of reading journal, I got a reading journal to update because got a new haul, and I'm trying to track all the books that are coming in, trying to track the books as they come in so that I know whether I've read them within a particular time. I don't know what time I'm giving myself yet. I'm not going to be able to read all the books that I get in this year during this year, but it will be great to see how long it takes me to read some of these new books as they come in. So it's 2:42, a little over the time that I had dedicated for chit chat. So we're going to do a little bit of a reading sprint. I'm going to set a 20-minute timer, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. And so we will regroup at 3:03. It's 2:43 now. And I'm going to see how much I can read in 20 minutes. So drop it in the comments if you're reading along with me, what you're reading for 20 minutes. This is what I'm reading. This is what I'm reading. I'm just gonna keep going. I sometimes in the reading sprint, I will read the book that has come in. I'm not gonna do that today because I don't want to be reading two books that may be romance at the same time. I don't want to do that. If it was a different genre, maybe, but as excited as I am, I'm not gonna read this today. In the sprint, I'm gonna continue with this one. So 20 minutes starting now. Let me know what you're reading. Or watching. Happy watching. Rumi's watching videos. Rumi is here for support and sharing, even if she's not reading with us. That's great. That's fine. Listen, I watch a lot of videos sometimes, depending on the mood that I'm in. Like this morning, I watched a Hallmark fall themed movie. Excellent. Excellent. So, hi, Bernadette. Thank you so much for joining. We're streaming live on TikTok as well as on YouTube. So, I'm looking back and forth. We're going to start our reading sprint. Our 20 minutes starts now. I'm reading this. Let me know if you're reading along with me, what you're reading. I'm at page 116. I'm just going to keep going. That sounds interesting, my cozy little library. Reviewing about positive versus negative reinforcement. It's something that I have talked about, even though I don't know if I fully understand it. Uh, your schoolwork always sounds like so much fun, but and I think sometimes it's me looking in from the outside. Thanks for sharing, though. Hi, thanks for joining. We're reading for another 12 minutes. That's the plan. This is what I'm reading. Let me know in the comments what you're reading. If you're joining me reading, this is what I'm reading, Grace and Henry's Holiday Movie Marathon by Matthew Norman. We're reading for another 12 minutes and 20 seconds or so. So drop in the comments what you're reading if you're joining me. Hi, friend. Hi, friend. We're reading over here. This is what I'm reading today. Let me know if you're joining me to read what you're reading. We have about 5 minutes, a little under 6 minutes left on the reading sprint, and then I'll tell you a little bit about what I read. 1 minute and 20 seconds. Okay. 20 minutes are up, but I just want to keep reading. I have another page and a half, so I'm just going to finish that up if that's okay with you. Okay. I read 25 pages. um, Closer to 30 pages. I'm at 146. I'm at 144. So I'm at 144. I read to here, but the next page of text, because the section starts over, the next page of text is 147. So technically I read to 146. So the family members, the adult family members, the siblings. So our female main character name's Grace. The male main character's name is Henry, as you could tell from the title of the book. So Grace's sister and Henry's brother and their respective families, they're all kind of orchestrating little meetups with other people. So they're not completely matchmaking, but they are telling them about someone that they could date and finding ways to run into these people. And it's really interesting that some of these other people are people that they knew before while they were still married. So in the case of one of the characters, the person that they're being asked to look at in a different light is someone that they knew when they were married, and the person was friendly with their spouse. So that's interesting. There are some really interesting bits in the book. You know, it was a project that I had once where I talked about, if you didn't know who the author of a book was, would you be able to tell their gender from reading the book? So whether I knew that this was written by Matthew Norman or not, this is my first book that I'm reading from this author, so I can't tell you details about his writing, about his work. But like I said, from the beginning, from the list where Die Hard is the first movie that's mentioned, I knew right away that the book was written by a man. But there are other little ways that you see how he's not just writing a male character, he's writing a very sensitive male character. And so it's almost like this male character, Henry, is being written by a woman because he is very attentive to a lot of things. So he goes to this lady's house and he's just very thoughtful. Like, he goes to the house and he's there for a reason. I don't want to, I want to tell you too much about the book. I don't want to spoil things, but he's there for some reason. And while he's there, he notices that the recycling can is still in the front of the yard. And so he picks it up and he doesn't just move it to the side. He actually goes and puts it where he sees that it should go. Like, that is like very attentive. It's not his house. He doesn't live there. He's not dating the lady. He doesn't even want to date the lady. He's just being a thoughtful guest, visitor, potential friend. I like that. Some of the things that they talk about, without getting very personal, is just them sharing things with someone who's going through a very similar situation that other people just wouldn't understand. And I like it. I like the banter. I like the emotion that is being covered. And I like the writing. I think the writing is just really, really good. It's really engaging. It's real good communication. There's this thing that happens between people when they're getting to know each other and they start building up these references. They're like inside jokes, but they don't necessarily have to be funny. But we've talked yesterday, we've talked last week. And so when we talk today, we can reference things that we talked about last week without actually saying, do you remember when we said this last week? It is the thing that's just really cozy about relationships. And doesn't have to be romantic relationships. You have this with friends, you have this with family, where you have a past. And I can reference a conversation that happened a long time ago, and you just automatically get it. You get what I'm saying. It is why no matter how many new people we meet, we always like to have conversations with people that we've known for a long time. And I just love how the author includes that in this book. I think it's really, really well done. So I am just about closing in on the halfway mark. So I have to go soon. It is 3:13 New York time, 3:13 p.m. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We got a new book. Ooh, we got a new book that we're going to be reading in an upcoming reading sprint. But for now, I think we have to go. We have to go soon. We have to go soon. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I will try to come on tomorrow. I'm not sure of the time. It'll probably be early morning. Um, it'll probably be early morning. And by early morning, I mean like between 10 and 11, so that we can spend some time together. Maybe there'll be a new book to unbox, a new package to unbox, or maybe we'll just do some reading. If I have finished this by the time I come on here, then I'll tell you a little bit about it. Couple of things I need to do, just want to keep myself accountable. I know I still need to make a couple of videos where I discuss books, and it's been such a long time. I would like to make some long form content for the channel. I'm not sure when that will happen. So I'm not necessarily putting it on the list for this weekend, but I'd like to start thinking about it, at least thinking about it, maybe planning for it. So just want to say things are things are being planned, even if they're not necessarily being executed at the rate that they're being planned. But I just want to thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow or over the weekend. If you are new to the channel, this is your first time joining me, then please like the live. If you're watching this as a playback, thank you so much for doing that. And I hope that you enjoyed having a little company while you read during the sprint, if you use the lives to do that. So hope we'll be able to do this again sometime soon, maybe in the next day or so. And I look forward to it. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Sign up to get notified so that you'll know when I'm live and you can join me. If you're watching this on TikTok, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your company and your support. Thank you to all the people who like the live and helping boost engagement for this live, because the more people engage with the lives, the more it gets recommended to other people. TikTok says, yeah, this is a good space. Why don't you go join it? So thank you so much to everyone. This was my first time doing this, streaming on two platforms at the same time, and I think it went okay. I'm inclined to try it again. So let me know how it was for you. Thank you so much for being here. I said that already. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day or rest of the afternoon, wherever you are. And whatever you pick up, whatever you're reading, I hope you enjoy it. Happy reading. Bye.